Okay, Geoff. So 1-1 draw at home against Hamlets in an East London derby. But we were 1-0 up and we had control, and again, so it's definitely on the 2 points dropped side of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I spoke before in terms of obviously this sort of double header, what I think would be sort of a good return. Obviously, we aim for at least 4 points, and obviously we've come out with 1, so we're not really happy with that. And it's a tale of, obviously, if you remember the games that we were having sort of the start of the season when we were going through that rut where we were just continuously drawing games, and it just reminded me of those sort of games where we're in control, scored first, gone up early, we've conceded, and then it's sort of like the game sort of turns into a lull. And obviously if you're down at Town Hamlets where you are, you don't mind that sort of thing, so it's up to us to sort of create sort of the game, intensity, step it up. And we just couldn't really sort of gather momentum. We had a lot of half chances, and again, if you look at the tail of our season in terms of that sort of final third sort of quality, sometimes we're often missing, and where we've sort of had Noah to sort of produce that bit of quality, sometimes it does show, in these sort of games, and you put Noah into that, I think, we win the game quite comfortably. So it's a shame, really, as I said, so we feel like we've dropped points. I think the teams around us haven't sort of capitalised, but that's sort of regardless of the point. We've got Town Hamlets and Burnham. You'd like to think we could get 6 points out of that and solidify playoff position, not having to go into the last game against Harlow needing something. But we've got a sort of a 2-week break to a certain degree. We've not got a game next week, so we're going to let the boys rest a bit. A few injuries, a few knocks, not going to have any sort of friendlies or anything like that, and try and get the confidence up, really, because at the moment, if it's a case of we're having to create 7 or 8 chances to maybe score a couple, then we've got to find a way of doing it, to find a formation. We went to like 2 forwards today, and I thought we caused a few more problems when we did do that, but again, we're looking for that little bit of quality, isn't it? That little precision, deciding when to fizz the ball across or when to cut it back, when to shoot. These sort of things are sort of like eluding us a little bit, and that's why sort of we're not winning enough games. And it's been the tale of our season. You don't draw 15 games, for no reason, and that's why it's sort of like that's sort of cutting edge, which we're missing, really. And it's something, it's a learning curve that we need to improve on.
Okay, we were dominant at the point up until they scored. Their goal came out the blue. It was a long range shot. But actually, although, as you say, we tried to change things round, we didn't create as many chances or half chances in the sort of hour that was after their equaliser than we had done in the sort of half hour that was before it. And how much is that a concern? I know we did try and change the system as well, so maybe talk us through that.
Yeah, so we've done this before, so we've gone to 3 at the back, to try and get sort of 2 forwards on, maybe to occupy their 2 centre backs. And credit to their 2 centre backs, they sort of dealt with a lot of the stuff that was firing at them. When Cam went off, I think we suddenly dipped a little bit in terms of our actual presence and threat. So I don't think they were able to deal with him. And then we were getting around the sides a bit, but then as you know, with sort of wide players, it's what you do once you sort of beaten, your man, or you've gotten into that edge of the box or into the box. It's, can you pick someone out, or can you sort of hit the target? And often we don't do neither, and that's the problem that we've had pretty much all season. It's just that little bit of sort of decision making that, as I said, it's eluded us, and that's why, as I said, we are where we are. Otherwise, we would have been sort of well up. Maybe we're competing for the league if we could just fine tune that little part, because defensively, and credit to sort of our defensive unit, whoever's come in, again, it was a different sort of starting back four today, and pretty much, barring sort of few 1v1s, they kept them kept them out. The striker they had today, very good at holding the ball up, was a threat all game, but I'll say Dean and Adam, held him up and, did the fair share of it. So, it's just, as I said, it's up to us to find that little thing. I thought Sully was very bright today. And that's the sort of thing what we're asking for, a bit of sort of creativity, being able to take the ball on the half term, drive at players, commit players, and make things happen. And that's what I think we need more of the players to step up. Like I say, we can't really rely on, obviously Noah's not going to, probably that's him, I think, for the season now, right, with the injury he's got. So the gauntlet's there, we just need people just to come and take it. Like I said, Lewis threatened a lot, was a big threat all game, but again, it's like he wouldn't sit back and think, okay, but I haven't really got a goal and assist today, and those are the margins we're talking about. you've absolutely killed your fullback, but what have we got out of it?
Yeah.
And those are the sort of the margins, especially when we're talking about players who have the ability to go higher. That's what they need to improve on. That sort of end product. Otherwise, you become, and again, no disrespect. This is your level. Unless you can show you can produce a bit more. So we've got, as I said, 2 training sessions between now, and also so we can like to think, Judah will be a little bit fitter. A few others could get us a few more minutes under their belt in terms of training and fitness, because we need to go at Burnham and we need to go at them fast. Really, there's no other sort of scenario where it can't, other than be 3 points. Because like I say, teams around us are sort of sniffing and. You don't want it to go, as I said, to the last game, because Harlow would love to come here and be part of Peepers, knowing they can't go up, so they've got nothing to play for. But in front of what will probably be another sellout crowd, they'll try and do their best, and we don't want to give them any sort of incentive, to do that. So so I think it gives us a couple of weeks to sort of again refresh, have a look, see what we can do, and see how creative we can be, and go up Burnham, because as I said, it has to be a win. Well, today needed to be a win, but unfortunately we couldn't do it. But listen, as a management team, that's what it's about. These are the fun times, trying to create a solution, and trying to get a win. Because as I said, with a bit of momentum with the Burnham game, going there with a win, confidence is high. Harlow, last game of the season, here, with the crowd behind us, anything's possible.
Okay.
And I think we can get a win.
Okay, everything's still to play for.
Of course, and that's what the belief has to be within the team now. Obviously the window's shut, so what we have is what we're working with. We believe in them, but again, it's about producing, isn't it? There's only so much we can do once you cross that line. As the cliche says, you've got to produce. We're trying to give you the tools as much as possible to produce, and we just need you to step up now. Someone will step out the shadows, and sort of like as Cameron has done now. He's firing, looking the real threat. We need players to step up with him, really, and I think will definitely cause anyone in the playoffs some problems.